the demonic sigil hidden in every city's blueprint. You've felt it, haven't you? That strange, soul-crushing weight of the modern city. It's a feeling you can't quite put your finger on. You probably write it off as stress, or the noise, or just life. But what if it's something else? What if you're not just living in a city, but inside a machine? A machine whose purpose you were never meant to understand. What if those concrete towers scraping the sky aren't just soulless architecture, but are broadcasting a message to a world that isn't our own? What if the buildings we see every day weren't just designed for shelter, but for something much darker? You walk past them, work inside them, and live under their shadow, never realizing the secret they might be holding, hidden in plain sight. Here's a theory. The rigid, repeating geometry of brutalist architecture might function as a massive, unintended sigil. The idea is that these colossal structures, born from an era of utopian dreams, have become something else entirely. Their stark angles and monolithic forms could be creating a specific kind of frequency, a psychic static that shatters the natural spiritual barriers of a location. In this view, these buildings aren't just trapping negative energy, they're broadcasting an open invitation to whatever lies beyond the veil. This isn't some conspiracy of men in smoke-filled rooms. It's a theory about unconscious magic, woven into the very blueprint of our cities, an architectural accident of cosmic proportions, and we are living inside the experiment. Section 1. The official story, the concrete utopia. To understand how this could have happened, you have to look at the official story, the one they teach you in architecture school. It all starts after World War II. Cities across Europe were in ruins, and there was a desperate need to rebuild, and to do it quickly and cheaply. This necessity gave birth to a new architectural movement, brutalism. The name itself is a clue, though maybe not in the way you'd think. It doesn't come from brutal, but from the French phrase béton brut, which means raw concrete. This was the favorite material of the Swiss-French architect Le Corbusier, a pioneer whose work, like the Unité d'habitation in Marseille, became a template. His vision was one of sculptural, honest forms. British architects like Allison and Peter Smithson championed this new brutalism, seeing it as more than just a style, but a whole philosophy. They imagined it as an ethical choice, an architecture for a new, egalitarian society, built with honesty and a reverence for raw materials. These buildings, universities, public housing, government centers, were meant to be functional, affordable, and democratic. Machines for living in. A utopian dream cast in concrete. That's the official history. A story of post-war optimism and functional design. It's a plausible narrative. It explains the how, but it avoids a more speculative question. What are these buildings actually doing? Section 2. The trail of clues. The geometry of the void. The first clue in this theory is the geometry itself. Look at the blueprints of any major brutalist tower. What do you see? A relentless, repeating grid. Harsh, uncompromising angles. Modular forms stacked one on top of the other. Now look at diagrams used in ceremonial magic. The sigils and seals supposedly designed to summon or bind entities. Do you see the similarity? It's the same emphasis on angularity, on repetition, on the power of the line. While it's a huge leap, some esoteric traditions propose that shapes themselves generate vibrations, that geometry is a language reality responds to. This isn't just about a passing resemblance, it's about a feeling. The stark, inhuman scale, the endless concrete corridors, they were designed for efficiency, but their geometric signature can create a sense of unease. Research in environmental psychology confirms that humans often prefer natural textures, and that sterile environments can correlate with increased stress and anxiety. But that research doesn't ask the crucial question. It identifies the symptom, the unease, the depression, the feeling of being drained. But what if the cause isn't just a lack of nature? What if it's the presence of something else? And the oppressive geometry of these buildings generates a low-frequency spiritual hum that deadens our intuition. The second clue lies buried in history, long before concrete and steel. Ancient civilizations seem to understand that the placement of structures was not random. From the pyramids to standing stones, monuments were often placed with incredible precision. A modern, esoteric interpretation of this involves ley lines, supposed channels of earth energy. This concept was first proposed in the 1920s by an amateur archaeologist named Alfred Watkins, who noticed that ancient sites across Britain could be connected by straight lines. He believed these were just ancient trade routes. It was later researchers, particularly in the New Age movement, who theorized they were a global energy grid. Mainstream archaeology, of course, dismisses the existence of this energy network as pseudoscience, a trick of statistics on a map dense with historical sites. But what if that dismissal is part of the problem? Ancient cultures may have built on these lines to align with them, but our modern cities crash onto the landscape, driven by economics and convenience. If you entertain this theory, brutalist towers with their massive foundations don't just ignore this supposed grid, they puncture it. They act like colossal spikes of concrete and rebar driven into the Earth's energetic body, disrupting the flow and creating blockages. This leads to the final, most speculative clue: the architects themselves. While there is no grand conspiracy, some scholars have explored the interest of key modernist figures, including Le Corbusier, in esoteric ideas, Freemasonry, and arcane symbolism. The turn of the 20th century was awash with occult revivals, a reaction against industrial materialism. These architects sought to create a new, spiritual language for the modern era. But what if, in their quest to create a new humanism, they accidentally inverted old sacred principles? Instead of building structures that resonated with natural harmony, what if they created forms that did the opposite? What if they built voids? Section 3. The Grand Revelation, an invitation to the beyond. And this is where the theory culminates. The truth, supposedly hidden in the concrete, is that brutalist towers are not the product of an intentional, demonic plot. The proposed reality is far more terrifying. They are accidental sigils. The architects didn't set out to build gateways for hostile entities, but through a confluence of post-war necessity, utopian ideology, and a forgotten, speculative understanding of sacred geometry, they may have done so anyway. They stumbled upon a formula for creating a spiritual vacuum. In this view, the harsh, repetitive geometry doesn't just look oppressive, it is oppression on a vibrational level. It creates a dead zone where the natural spiritual defenses of a place are muffled. It numbs the human soul, making it less able to perceive what's right in front of it. These buildings are psychic insulators, but they don't keep things out. They create the perfect, sterile environment for things that can't thrive in the light of human warmth and intuition. They create a habitat for what you could call sterility parasites, entities that feed on routine, burnout, and the slow erosion of the human spirit. These concrete monoliths are, in theory, broadcasting a signal into the beyond. A signal that says, this place is empty, this place is unprotected, The feeling of dread you get in a concrete underpass. The sense of being watched in a deserted plaza. Maybe it's not just in your head. Maybe it's the resonance of the sigil. The theory suggests these buildings function as docking stations, as entry points. They are geometric wounds in the fabric of reality, and through them, things are leaking in. Not ghosts of the dead, but something else. Things you could call grid walkers, entities that move along straight lines and right angles, for whom a city of grids is a natural hunting ground. Boundary feeders, lingering in the thresholds of elevators and stairwells. The buildings themselves become the machine that prepares their occupants for a slow, spiritual assimilation. Conclusion. The evidence for this theory is all around you, written in concrete and steel across the skylines of the world. But don't take my word for it. Look up. Look at the buildings in your own city. Do you see the patterns? The relentless grids? The imposing forms that seem to suck the light from the sky? Have you ever felt an unsettling energy around certain buildings? A place that just feels wrong? Tell me about it in the comments. Which buildings in your city carry this weight? We could create a map of these locations to see the pattern on a global scale. The architects of the 20th century believed they were building a new world. They were. But perhaps it wasn't the utopia they imagined. According to this theory, they built the cage, and in their ignorance, they also broadcast the key. They've hidden a demonic sigil in the blueprint of every city, and we have been living inside of it all along, never knowing what else was living here with us. The real question is, now that you can see the sigil, what do you do when you realize it might be looking back?